Past 1 o'clock, and I believe we have a quorum.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to call this meeting of the Mesilla Valley MPO Governing Board to order. It is currently 1:04 p.m. on April 9th, 2025. And with that, I will ask you all to rise and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if we can get a roll call to
Yes,
quorum?
Mr. Chair. Trustee Johnson Burek,
Here.
District Engineer Chavarria,
Here.
Councilor Corrin,
Yeah, here.
Mayor Hernandez,
Present.
Councilor McClure,
Here.
Commissioner Gameros.
Present.
Mr. Chair.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Excellent. All right, then we'll move on to agenda item number 3, which is the closed meeting statements. And with that, I will like to state that the Mesilla Valley MPO Governing Board met in closed session at 1:34 p.m. on March 12th, 2025. The following were in attendance: Commissioner Gameros, Gloria Gameros, City Councilor Cassie McClure, Mayor Russell Hernandez, City Councilor Becky Corrin, NMDOT Representative and District Engineer, Aaron Chavarria, Mesilla Trustee Johnson Burek. We also had from the MPO, Mr. Andrew Ray, and legal representation, Sergio Estrada and Lillian Sanchez Porras. The meeting adjourned at 2:56 p.m. The closed meeting discussion was limited to the item as stated in the posted notice, which was to discuss limited personnel matters relating to the hiring of the MPO Executive Director, which was closed pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H2. Then on at 1:34 on April 4th, 2025, the Mesilla Valley MPO Governing Board met in closed session with the following in attendance: Las Cruces City Councilor Cassie McClure, Mesilla Trustee Johnson Burek, NMDOT District Engineer Aaron Chavarria, City Councilor, Las Cruces City Councilor Becky Corrin, myself, Commissioner Sanchez, and Mesilla Mayor Russell Hernandez, as well as our legal representation, Sergio Estrada and Ms. Camacho. The meeting adjourned at 1:53 p.m. The closed meeting discussion was limited to the item as stated in the posted notice, and the purpose of the closed meeting was to discuss a limited personnel matter related to the hiring of the MPO Executive Director, which closed pursuant to NMSA 1978, Section 10-15-1H2. All right. And I don't know if there's ever any questions or comments, anything I missed. Just want to make sure I got that. It was a mouthful. So, all righty. Then we'll move on to agenda item number 4. It's a conflict of interest inquiry. Does any board member have any known or perceived conflict of interest with any item on the agenda? All right. I'm seeing shaking heads indicating they do not. So we'll move on to public comment. And I am currently not seeing any members of the public here. So we'll move on to agenda item number 6, approval of our agenda. If I can get a motion and a second to approve.
Move to approve, Corrin.
Have
Second.
a motion by Councilor Corrin and second, by Commissioner Gameros. Thank you. All right, any changes to the agenda?
No, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All right, then I'll have a roll call, please, on the approval of the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chair. This is on the motion to approve the agenda of today's meeting. Trustee Johnson Burek,
Yes.
District Engineer Chavarria,
Yes.
Councilor Corrin,
Yes.
Mayor Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilor McClure,
Yes.
Commissioner Gameros.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes.
Thank you. That agenda is approved. Now on to the approval of minutes. Minutes from March 12th, 2025. I get a motion and a second to approve.
So moved.
I have a motion by, Commissioner Gameros.
Second.
Second by Trustee Johnson Burek.
Mr. Chair, before I call the roll, I would like to offer an explanation to the board. You'll notice that it is summary minutes for the March meeting. I apologize for this. I only slightly jokingly say someone seems to have put a curse on us and our ability to get minutes done because we yet again last month had a technical issue where we lost the recording. So we're getting very good at doing summary minutes, and I hope that we don't have to do this any further, but I did want to offer up that explanation as to what you see in your packet today.
And I know, Andrew, we had talked about it, and it looked like, we went to verify that it was not on YouTube, and so hopefully this is not something that generally happens, especially.
No, this is the very first time we've ever had this happen at the county.
So I'll say that we apologize, and so that we should not have, or hope to not have any other technical issues like this in the future. Also, I'd like to extend my thanks to Mayor, Vice Chair and Mayor Hernandez for running the meeting. I appreciate you stepping in, as I was not able to join that, so thank you, sir. All right, with that, if there are any comments, questions on the minutes? If not, if I can get a roll call, please.
This is on the motion to approve the minutes of March 12th, 2025. Trustee Johnson Burek.
Yes.
District Engineer Chavaria.
Yes.
Counselor Corn.
Yes.
Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Counselor McClure.
Yes.
Commissioner Gomeros.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes.
Thank you. All right, on to action items. Agenda item 8.1, it's Resolution 25-05, a resolution approving an employment agreement hiring Mr. Andrew Ray as the Executive Director of the Mesilla Valley MPO. If I get a motion and a second to approve, please.
So moved. Second.
All right, I have a motion by Commissioner Gomeno, second by Trustee Johnson Burek.
Mr. Chair, I'd at this time like to introduce Mr. Estrada.
Good morning, Chair and board members. Good afternoon, actually. Just wanted to congratulate you all. You're about to take a vote on the employment agreement with your first executive director. The exhibit that I saw attached to the agenda had some blanks. So for the record, I'd like to clarify a few things that are of note with this employment agreement. This employment agreement will be effective starting May 5th, 2025. It shall terminate on March 31st, 2028. The executive director's starting salary will be, starting annual base salary will be $112,000 per year. And those were the only provisions that I thought were necessary that we put into the record. And one more, actually, is that per the agreement and per what was discussed at your previous meetings, the executive director shall be evaluated annually in the month of April or as soon thereafter. Any questions?
Board member, any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. And I just for the record, I know that we noted that we have the motion, but I think if we're okay accepting the notes as you had stated in terms of the starting date, the end date, the salary, and the evaluation.
Yes, sir.
Month of April, then we should be good.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, as presented.
All right, board members, if there are any public comment, then Andrew, I'd like to see if we get a roll call on the resolution 2505 as presented, please.
This feels awkwardly self-serving, Mr. Chair. Trustee Johnson Burek.
Yes.
District Engineer Chavaria.
Yes.
Counselor Corn.
Yes.
Mayor Hernandez.
Yes.
Counselor McClure.
Yes.
Commissioner Gomeros.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Mr. Chair, the motion passes.
thank you. And Andrew, I'd like to congratulate you on being the first executive director of our new Mesilla Valley MPO.
Well, thank you
As
very
a
much, Mr.
separate
Chair and Board. I
entity.
appreciate that.
All right, so we'll move on to agenda item 8.2. It's resolution 25-06, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding between the Mesilla Valley MPO and the Las Cruces Police Department, a department of the city of Las Cruces. If I can get a motion and a second to approve this MOU.
Move to approve. Second.
Okay.
I apologize, could I?
Whoever, second, second,
okay.
first, whatever.
Okay, I'll take the motion by Commissioner Gomeno, second by City Councilor Becky Corn.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would at this time like to introduce Ms. Provingi.
Good afternoon, members of the governing board. Mr. Chair, this is on the memorandum of understanding between the Mesilla Valley MPO and the Las Cruces Police Department. 24 CFR 450 requires the creation of MPOs for urban areas above 50,000 in population. We've been designated by the state of New Mexico to fulfill any transportation planning requirements under 23 CFR 450 in the, basically within our planning area that is in central and southern Doña County. Back in 2012, the Moving Ahead for Progress for the 21st Century Act created mandatory performance measures for states and MPOs. The IJA expanded on this and requires MPOs to report these safety performance measures for the MPO's planned areas. We are responsible for reporting those performance measures within our planned area. In 2023, us and LCPD, LCPD's traffic division did meet to discuss our annual safety report, amongst other traffic safety concerns like speeding and crashes, crash data, looking at any trends that we've noticed in our data. As a result of that conversation, LCPD did grant us access to their TRACS records. For those that don't know, TRACS stands for Traffic and Criminal Software. It is a statewide traffic data collection software. It's a network that basically makes it easier for law enforcement to share and transfer electronic data and also maintain those records. TRACS does allow officers in New Mexico to complete uniform traffic citations, crash reports, vehicle inspections, incident forms, tow sheets, and other supplemental forms that are used daily by law enforcement. So within the Mesilla Valley MPO planned area, we do have 5 law enforcement agencies, and all of them use TRACS. So we do have the lead agency, which is the New Mexico State Police. We have Doña County Sheriff's Office, LCPD. We have Mesilla Marshal, and we also have NMSU's police. So within the MOU, basically it discusses the responsibilities and the cooperation between us and LCPD. The MOU does state the agreement between us and them to utilize the data for research purposes only and not to reveal any personal information from these reports. The contents of the MOU also contain the agreement of the Mesilla Valley MPO to not directly distribute crash reports to any other parties. So the draft version of this MOU has been reviewed and accepted by LCPD. The goal of this is to cooperate not just with LCPD, but later on with other local law enforcement agencies within our planned area in order to access their TRACS records, in order to complete basically more in-depth crash data analysis when the need arises. We would like to ask for the governing board's approval of this MOU between us and LCPD. I will now stand for comments and questions.
Thank you, Ms. Ravengi. Are there any questions, board, regarding the MOU as noted in the packet? All right. Not hearing or seeing any. And so with that, I'll ask for a roll call.
Okay, this is on the motion to approve the MOU between Mesilla Valley MPO and Las Cruces Police Department. Trustee Justin Pierik,
Yes.
District Engineer Chavarria,
Yes.
Councilor Corran,
Yes.
Mayor Hernandez,
Yes.
Councilor McClure,
Yes.
and Commissioner Gameros,
Yes.
and Mr. Chair.
Yes. All right, that resolution passes. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ravengi.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see, agenda item 9.1, under discussion items, the presentation of the Transportation Project Fund, or TPF, project applications.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Dominic Loya for MPO staff. So we did receive 2 TPF applications. These will need to be ranked at the next meeting. They are both from the town of Mesilla, and Mayor Marcel Hernandez will be presenting this item.
I know.
Mayor.
I know it feels odd, doesn't it?
You're doing double duty. No, thank you.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, when you have a small staff, this is what we do, right? Mr. Chair, members of the board, thank you for hearing the projects that we have. We just recently, just to give you a little bit of background, we just recently went about a week and a half ago. We went through the PFF process to have these projects reviewed by NMDOT as well as by staff with the MPO. Thank you, Dominic, for that. There are some changes that are still underway on the application that were recommendations by NMDOT that would still need to be completed in order to move the application forward, or the applications that we have. The 2 applications that we have here, we'll start with our first application is for Paisano Road, as it's listed there, on there. And I'll keep it short and sweet on this presentation. The request in the project overview is to resurface at Paisano Road. It's to grind and resurface Paisano from Glass Road to Calle del Norte. It's approximately a little over 1 mile road here. This project request and overview does include engineering, construction, and construction management. The original application does have design in there, but there's not any design other than the engineering that is already, because we're just looking at resurfacing a road in this project. The funding request on that is for a DOT amount of $670,772,000, and then the town proportional match to be $33,539, in which we have also requested a match waiver on that proposal within that. So that's Paisano Road in specific as our first project request, if there's any questions.
Any questions, board?
Okay, thank you. Our next project that we are requesting through TPF funding is for Calle del Sur and widening in specific. This is for planning and design of this road in particular. As a full project overview in this, the project planning and design would include roadway drainage and potential mobility design. This would be going from a review standpoint of mobility from La Mesilla Circle to Calle del Oeste, and then also mobility from Oeste to Snow Road, including roadway widening and drainage along that way. We expect that roadway width would be approximately 24 foot. The mobility that we would be looking at potentially having would be a potential sidewalk, multi-use path, bike path, depending upon right-of-way availability, and then also going through a public feedback portion in all of that. Letters of support that are going to be gathered to be included in the application is that NMDOT letter of support, a letter of support from EBID, which we've had some great conversations and they're on board with all of that. And there's two landowners specifically along Calle del Sur that do share a communal irrigation ditch on both sides of the road that directly abut their property. With that, those landowners' letters of support would also be included in the overall application when we do this. Those communal ditches, just as we see in this road widening potential, is that there's a communal ditch on both sides of Calle del Sur in this area, where one side would potentially have to go underground in order to keep the ability to farm the land in the area. So that's where we're going to be looking at that in this overall project and design and the widening of that. The project for this one, we're looking at a design of NMDOT at 102,586.36, and then the town's proportional match of $5,399.29. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
All right. Board, any questions, comments? I think the only thing, and I know we're not ranking them until the next meeting, but it makes it easy because they're both from the same jurisdiction. But I think if and maybe we don't need to answer it now, but I'd be curious to understand how it is that you all or the city, the town of Mesilla would prefer us to rank them. So, that way.
Definitely. Well, and I think when we look at this and just in communication ahead of time, and conversations that we had in the PFF meeting in specific, is that we would probably rank them look at ranking in the order that they are in right now, as the road reconstruction fully, and then the potential of the design being completed as the alternate, if you will. So,
Okay, awesome.
In that sense. So just to help out with that ahead of
Yeah,
time.
like I said, I know, like I said, it's easier. I know that with us just having one, it makes it easier just because then it's up to you, to the representatives from Mesilla to decide how you guys want to do that. So, okay, thank you.
And I do want to note that just on a side note for clarity purposes is that the reason for 2 projects this year specifically in the request is the Paisano project was supposed to be a project that was submitted last year with last year's funding request, but we missed that deadline on that in submitting that. So we have that potential here. And I think it's just on a personal side note, I want to note that I think it's kind of ironic that last year, I think it was City of Las Cruces had 2 projects that was in specifically and nobody else. And here's Town of Mesilla now with 2 potential projects and with nobody else. So just ironic how that works, but thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Alrighty. Mr. Loya, is any other comment on that agenda item or?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right, then I think the next item I have is 10.1, which is board updates. Are there any updates from the board? Andrew, I only have one. I did want to let you know, I think we had discussion as the county commission yesterday regarding our third representative, which right now is Commissioner Chaparro.
Yes.
Well, she had expressed some concerns, or at least availability concerns around her monthly schedule. What we're trying to do is work out where potentially she's still our representative, but we may have Commissioner Reynolds, like where they will probably come in every other month. So that way we have our third representative from the county. So we're trying to work on getting that sorted out and understand her conflicts and that she has with her schedule. So I just wanted to let you know that that's something that came up in discussion yesterday.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate that information.
All right, if there are no other board comments, then we'll go to 10.2, which is NMDOT updates. Mr. Chavarria.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. So first project I'll update you guys on is our US 70 Main Street project, bridge replacement. As you guys are aware of, it's a bit behind schedule, but it is estimated that it'll be complete by May of this year. Our next project is also on US 70, but it's east of I-25. That one's been under winter suspension. It'll resume in May, and it's got roughly about a month and a half to go after that to complete. We also have I-10 bridges over Main Street and the railroad. That one's looking, it's on time and on budget. It's looking at like a June completion of this year. And then we have our university project from Main Street to Avenida de Mesilla. That one's moving along pretty nice. It's got a November 2026 completion date. And that's all the updates I have. I'll stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chavarria. Any questions? Councilor McClure.
Just out of curiosity, because I think I had a constituent ask me, why was there no planning for trees in the North Main construction area? Some of those medians could have had some nice trees planted in there.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, I'm not too sure. You know, we don't do any landscaping maintenance. So that would be something the city or another public entity would have to request. But specifically on that project, I'm not sure.
Thank you. So that's something we could adopt and then put trees there, is what you're saying?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, yes, and you guys, anybody, a public entity can get into a landscaping agreement with the department, and you guys can proceed as you like. I would warn you that all the medians are being covered in concrete, colored pattern concrete, so not to say that the landscaping can be done, but it'll just be a little more work.
Thank you, Mr. Chavarria. Are there any other questions? All right. Thank you for those updates. And we're on to MPO staff updates, Mr. Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would actually like to initially turn to Mr. Loya to give an update about where we are in the MTP.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, members of the board. So we are moving along in the MTP. We will be doing public engagement at the end of the month. We have 3 dates set. We will be at April 22nd. We will be down in Vado del Cerro at the Rec Center from 5 to 6:30. On April 24th, we will be up at Radium Springs from 5 to 6:30. And then on April 29th, we'll be at the Munson Center from 5 to 6:30 to complete our public engagement for the MTP.
Thank you, Mr. Loya. Appreciate it. And
I would like at this time, if the chair would indulge me, now that we're officially at the end of phase 1 of this transition, there are a number of people that have worked in the background to support this transition. I think the main body of the board is probably not aware of them. So I would like to kind of do some public acknowledgements. But first of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Eugene Heathman of RE/MAX. He is the real estate agent that we worked with for about 2 years, finding our new space on a very foundational level. We would not be where we are now, very literally, without his patience and support. I also want to thank Mr. Rick Stowe from Collier. He was the listing agent for the building, the space that we have. The biggest hurdle that we ended up having through the first phase of the process was actually some issues that we had with the lease, and Mr. Stowe was very patient in working with us to get those ironed out. So we are very grateful to both Mr. Heathman and Mr. Stowe for their assistance and support. I also want to mention Mr. Marcus Yazzie and Mr. Jordan Lucero from Hub International for working with us to provide the insurance coverage that the MPO needs and will be needing going forward. They were very patient and diligent, and in Mr. Yazzie's case in particular, really went above and beyond the call of duty to do some extra legwork to get the coverages that we're going to need. It was not an easy task, so we're very grateful to both of them for their work. I also want to take a moment to thank Mr. Estrada, Ms. Sanchez from Kemp Smith. Mr. Estrada in particular has been working with us now since August of 2023, if I've got that date correct. And again, we would quite literally not be where we are without Mr. Estrada's consistent support. I also want to mention Ms. Alessandra Martinez, who was with Kemp Smith up until last year, and she was one of the attorneys that was also working with us extensively at the start. So those are kind of the public acknowledgements. I'm going to now annoy Kat, but I do want to give her some big kudos about something that happened last week. Our little MPO reached up and rattled the cage of the federal government, and we got them to change something in just 2 days, I believe. But Ms. Provengi, in doing the work for next year's safety report, going through some federal databases and discovered some very significant errors on a nationwide level in the ADT reporting that FHWA was putting out there. So she reached out and made FHWA aware of those errors and got them corrected. So I have never had an impact that big. So I told her she's peaked. But anyway, I did want to just go ahead and mention that as we did something. Anyway, I believe that is everything that we have for today, Mr. Chair.
thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Ms. Provengi, for taking the initiative and getting that bring that attention to the federal government. So, all right, board members, any questions from the staff? All right. Thank you, Andrew. And then we're back to our second public comment. But I do not see anybody else in the room, so that takes us to the end of our agenda. So if I can get a motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Councilor Corr, and I have a motion by Councilor Corr and a second by Commissioner Gomez. And with that, we'll call our meeting adjourned at 1:33 p.m. All righty, folks, we'll see you in May back here at Commission Chambers.
Yes, that's correct.